Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Everquest Project 1999. And today we are on the green server on the level 60 Necromancer in Lower GUK once again, but we're going to do a different camp. We're hunting down those items for our enchanter, our baby enchanter. So Lower GUK's a really good place. GUK in general, upper GUK, lower GUK, live side, dead side, everywhere in GUK is a really good spot to hunt down items for your, lower level characters, your twinks, whatever you want to call them, because your alts, because there's a lot of like a good caster stuff. There's all kinds of stuff for everybody. Short sword of Yakesha, the belt, the whatchamacallit, the haste belt. There's all kinds of stuff, man. The robes. Oh, I'm not gonna name it all, but we're going back, but we're gonna do a different camp this time, y'all. So you see me going to lower GUK from upper GUK. Let's put this in 2x speed because we've seen this before, and I got a lot of footage for you today, and we don't need to be watching the same thing over and over. So I will just put it in ×2 until we get to the, past where we were last time, which was Assassin Supplier. So yeah, last time we did Assassin Supplier, which is a really fun camp in my opinion. I might do it again. I just don't know. Like normally these days, if I'm playing the game, I'm playing it and recording. I don't have time to like play and then not record and then play and record and then play and not record and then play and record. It's like every time I play, I pretty much need to record to put out a video. So if I do that camp again, it's like, how am I going to put out a video of doing the same camp again? But I think it's a really good camp, and I would like to do it again because you got the supplier, which drops the thick banded belt, worth like 2k. And if you do it right, you can do assassin, supplier, ritualist, cavalier. You can do savant, and there's even a sage or something down there that I didn't get to, an executioner, and there's all kinds of good loot if you can handle all of that, like the dead tower, the DT. So we're going through right there. That's the savant area that you just saw. And we're heading down. So I'm going to pause it right here because we're kind of getting past where we were. And let me put it back on normal speed. And you won't see like this bar very much, I hope. But I'm going to put it back on normal speed. We're past where we... At least I think so. Let me get my bearings here. Where are we at? We're in the almost to the savant area, it looks like. I'm doing a camp check just to see what everybody's doing. Because I wasn't even sure where I was going to go. I was like, I'm going to check Assassin Supplier. I really want to get that Ritualist down so I can get the cape and the sleeves. But I did go to the bank in between. I sold. So after that last video, which I hope you watched, I thought it was a pretty good video. Necro soloing in lower GUK, doing all kinds of names. I went and I sold. This is the Executioner camp, by the way. To the left there is the Sage, who drops the Runed Cow, the Braided Cinch Cord. So, let's finish up my first thought. Okay, so Assassin Supplier camp. If you can do Supplier, Cavalier, and Sage in particular, that's really good. Really, really good. Thick Banded Belt, 2,000 plat. The Sage has Runed Cow and Braided Cinch Cord, both worth like 500 each. And then the Cavalier has the Dark Reaver, which is worth like 2,000. So you could potentially, if you end up getting all the good drops, you could end up with 5,000 plat worth of stuff. So it's a really good camp. It's underrated. I don't think people... I don't know, maybe you can't make it all the way. Sometimes there's somebody camping Cavalier. Sometimes there's people camping Sage. But if you can get both of those on top of the Supplier, it's a really good camp. But we're in the safe hall here. So it's a little bit past the Executioner and the Cavalier. Safe hall is what that's called. This is the slaver area, or not, well, it's the slaves. And then you got to watch right here. There's a false floor somewhere. I managed to only fall in it, I think, once in this video. But right here is the Archmagus this way. You've seen me and Faceless One do this once before. And I figured something out about it, though. I've done this camp 2 or 3 times now. This might be my third time. I'm Invis vs. Undead, by the way, so I'm able to peek around this corner without getting attacked. You got to be careful breaking into this camp. If you don't have Invis vs. Undead, be super careful. Because those 2 wizards, if they both attack you and they both hit you with spells, you're going to get hurt. So I'm just making sure I'm invis versus undead. I'm getting myself a target. That way I can lull when I need to. So I've got a target up there, the core ghoul wizard, and I'm gonna get ready right now. I'm gonna get my pet out. I'm gonna buff up and everything. So maybe we should put it in 2 times once again. I'm gonna need to do this a few times because we got way too much footage and not enough time. So I got it in 2 times here, getting ready, casting my pet, buffing up, got my target for my lull. But this is Magus. This is where the shining metallic robe drops, which is only worth like 1k these days, but it used to be worth somewhere around like 2 or 3k. It's a really good robe. I definitely recommend it. It's what I was wearing until I got my robe I'm wearing right now. It's also for a quest, I think, like a rogue quest. So I'm gonna check on my recording while we're at it. Looks like everything's good. Hopefully I might turn this down slightly. Alright, so I'm lolling, right? 2 wizards. I don't want both of those blasting me with nukes at the same time. I'm not a warrior or anything. I'm just a little necromancer. Yeah, it's a pretty good camp, especially if you have a twink or a alt that you want to give the robe to. Or hey, when I was camping it for the first time, I needed the robe. So it's a good robe. It's like 9 intelligence or something like that. Pretty good. But yeah, if you can do that assassin supplier and get supplier, sage, and cavalier, it's a really, really good camp. But this one here, we're going to do Magus, and eventually we're going to add the hand. The reanimated hand, I think it's called. Drops the adamantite band and the serpentine bracer, I think. And the adamantite band is pretty good. It's 75 HP. That's higher than the rings I got on right now. On my necro. My 60 necro has 55 HP rings on both fingers. And the adamantite band is a 75 HP ring. So what I'm really hunting for right here is the SMR for my enchanter. But I'm going to go try to pull the hand. Now you got to know, the last time I tried to pull the hand, I think I died. Because there's 2 frogs up there. There's also a roamer in the hallway. So you have 1 or 2 roamers in the hallway. You have the hand, which you have to go through some water upwards to get to it. It's a difficult pull if you don't know what you're doing. There's a roamer in the hallway, at least 1 or 2. Then once you get to the water, you got to swim upwards. And then there's a Dar Knight or something like that. Then a wizard. And then the hand, who can, I think, charm you. Like, could do all kinds of crazy stuff. So you got to be careful with the hand. It's not the highest level thing in the zone, but it's one of the harder pulls. Oh, I still got it 2 times. My bad. Let me put that back on. Normal speed. Alright, so this is the placeholder, actually, for the Archmagus. The one that stands by the bookcase is the placeholder, which is a ghoul wizard, and they still give experience. I'm level 60, and I'm getting experience from this camp. Both wizards that spawn in the room give me experience every single time. So they gotta be high 40s, low 50s, something like that. And they're difficult, man. If they hit you with a couple nukes in a row, or hit your pet with a couple nukes in a row, it can hurt. I mean, you might resist half of them, but if you don't, I don't know why that's popping up when I don't want it to. Anyway. But got them both down. Set a timer. It's a 28-minute timer. Spawn, camp, whatever. And you can just sit here and chill. You can kill those 2, and that's it. If you don't have any ambition to go further, if you want to make it a dad camp, it's a really awesome dad camp. Because it's just 2 kills. It's not that hard to get to. All you got to do is break the room, and you're solid. And 28 minutes later, you can come back, kill it again. 28 minutes later, you can do so much in between. It probably takes 4 or 5 minutes to do both kills at the most. And then you have at least 20 minutes to go do whatever you want. And get some work done, do some laundry, just throw the football with your kid, whatever. Take a dump. You can do all kinds of stuff. Make some dinner. You can do whatever. You can go bowling. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it's an awesome dad camp with a potential drop that if you're just in it for the money, like the plat, it's not that awesome because it's only like 1k now. But it used to be decent. It used to be like 2,500 or so, I'd say. I don't know. Somebody be in the comments like, it never cost that much. It was like 2,000. No, I'm just, you know, I'm not always like trying to be 100% correct. Sometimes I exaggerate slightly. I love to exaggerate. Well, we got one in the secret hallway here, and there is one thing about this camp that I did not know that we're going to discover very soon. But it wasn't this. I knew this guy was here. It's usually a wand knight, nothing too crazy. It's never going to jump in on your room. It never comes in there. The only way that would happen is if you're fighting. The worst thing that can happen is, of course, when you're breaking the camp. Like, both wizards could jump on you. But other than that, the worst thing that can happen is one of the wizards runs and you don't have it snared. It can run into that secret hallway and get the knight to jump in on the fight. So you got to be careful there. Make sure you snare. Make sure you knock them down before they go in there. Or you could kill that knight first and make sure that doesn't happen. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Because I thought that was a one-way, like, dead end. But it's not. It's a thoroughfare, and that's what I learned. I never knew that. And you don't know until you try it. But we'll see here in a second, me learning something at this camp. Yeah, my whole idea was, when I came into Lower GUK, I'm like, okay, I kind of want to do Assassin Supplier, but I also want to make a video, so how can I do this? And I was like, okay, camp check. Assassin Supplier was taken. Sage was taken. Frenzy was taken. Lord was taken. I'm like, well, no one said Archmagus, so I went to Archmagus. I'm like, they haven't seen me solo Archmagus yet. So that was the idea for this video after I did the camp check. And then eventually I have the reanimated hand on, and we check out the Lord room. We go around, we do some stuff in this video. We're not just sitting here in this room, which could be what you would do. If you're going to do this camp, you could just sit there in this room and kill the 2 spawns and be happy. But I jump over the pit. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. There's another way to do it. Straight ahead right there is a false wall, and I didn't even know it. And I've done this right there, dude. Look. I'm like, what? That was news to me. That was news to me. I'm sure most people know that, but that was news to me. I did not know that. But now I know how to pool to this camp. I used to jump over the hole, and the frog would go in the hole, and then bring everybody and their brother back to the room, and then I think I've died like that. So now I know how not to die pulling to Archmagus, which is awesome. But here's where the hand is. Straight across the hallway. So once you find the Archmagus, the reanimated hand is straight across the hallway. And the reason you would do the hand, there's like a quest item laying on the floor. For I don't know who, like mage or wizard or something like that. It's a wand. So there's a quest item. There's a wand laying on the floor for a quest item. And then the hand drops the adamantite band and the serpentine bracer, which I think the adamantite. Oh, and there's where I fall. So falling can be dangerous, but I haven't really. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. Maybe if you don't have any kind of way, like if you don't have gate, if you don't have invis or anything, it could be a problem if you fall. But most of the time, it really isn't. There's not like frogs down there. You just have to be careful when you climb up the ladder. Maybe if you're on a pool, if you're pulling something and you fall in the hole, that could be bad news. But otherwise, if you're not on a pool, and if you're the puller, you should know where all the false floors are. But I think we just chill for a second. Let's put it back in 2 times. I do pause quite a bit. When there's nothing going on, I do pause. I try to be cognizant of this being footage I was going to commentate over. So I made sure not to, just record myself sitting there doing nothing. Alright, this way's towards the Lord. So if you take a right out of the Archmagus room, if you hang a right when you're leaving the Archmagus room, that's towards the Lord, and stuff gets pretty difficult this way. Like, highest level in the whole zone type of stuff. We got a cool core ghoul wizard, and he resisted my Rest the Dead spell. Like, critically resisted, because he came after me. And I'm always worried about my pet coming to aid. But luckily, I don't think he hit me. I got my mana shield on. I never feel comfortable with my mana shield on when I have a pet, because I feel like sometimes I take hits on purpose. Like when I'm pooling, I'll take a hit here and there. If my pet's about to die or something, I'll take a hit. I just feel like it never gets used the way I want it to be used. It's always used for stupid things, and it costs 10 plat to cast that spell. So I don't like putting it on. Like if it wears off or gets used up, I don't really just reapply it over and over and over because I'm not sitting here. I'm trying to make plat or get some gear for my enchanter. I'm not trying to sit here and spend a bunch of plat by reapplying my mana shield over and over and over for 10 plat each cast. So I don't know. That's how I feel about it. If I was in a dangerous area, charming and stuff, like maybe, but I know I can handle this, even though I have died a few times, so definitely stay tuned. It's not a given that I'm just going to stomp all over this camp. I've died right here multiple times, like in this camp. We got a Zol Ghoul Knight. I just rest everything. That way I can get as close to it as I want to and then snare it. I can check everything out, make sure there's nothing else. Like, here we go. Here's a Darghoul Knight. We could have had 2 of them if we didn't play this right. Here comes the Zol, but he's rested, so he's not exactly, like, looking for me too hard. Pulling the Zol. I have them both rested, so we should be okay. And I'm pulling it. I'm doing the thing where I pull to my pet. Like, my pet is my group, and I'm the puller. One of these days, I'm going to charm through lower GUK. I think that's the way I'm going to be able... And he came the wrong way. That's not what I wanted him to do. And I learn. I learn how to pull to this camp eventually. But right now, I'm still experimenting with it. The stupid thing fell in the hole, so now it's got to run and get back out. And then it's going to come try again, and... This is where you get into trouble if you're the puller and you don't know what you're doing, because if they go down in that hole and they pop up somewhere where there's something else, that other thing's going to join in. And then 2 of them are going to come after you, and then they're both going to fall in the hole. And then they're going to pop up somewhere and grab something else, and then they're going to, you know what I mean? So you got to kind of like go through the Foss hallway, and you kind of want to set up right here. Kind of want to chill right here. That way when people... come to the camp, they know you're there, because they have to go through this area. And that's usually what you want to do. When you're camping something, you want to be visible to people that are checking on the camp. Because not everybody does a camp check, unfortunately. And not everyone, even if they do poo-poo a camp check, even if they do, they still don't believe it. They'll come look anyway. So the best thing to do if you want to keep a camp is to be visibly present somehow. So you want to set up somewhere where they can't, it's like they have to go through that area to get to the camp. And I usually set my pet there. Like, this is obviously, somebody's obviously here. There's a giant specter pet with a giant scythe standing right here. In a spot where I have to go through. Like, they're telling me that they're camping this by leaving their pet here. And I know not everybody has a pet or whatever, and in that case, you kind of just have to chill in your camp or have a duo or something. If you're soloing a camp, it's just the risk you take by going out looking for other stuff. You kind of leave your camp. And if it was me, you would be fine. But if it's other people, you never know. Because me, I would camp check, and then I would just take your word for it, and I wouldn't come to it. Most likely, unless I'm just bored and I'm looking around. And if I come to your camp, if I do a camp check and you say, "Yo, I'm doing Archmagus," and I come to Archmagus and you're not there, but everything's dead and there's nothing up, then I will assume that you're still doing the camp. I might send you a tell. I might do that in that case, but I will not just sit there and take over the camp like some people do. That is bad camp etiquette. And I have a camp etiquette video if you want to check it out. It's one of my most popular videos on Everquest, I think. It's pretty funny. A little rant. People have bad camp etiquette, man. They don't do camp checks. They just take over camps without even sending a tell or saying anything. And they don't realize, like, if everything's down, that's an obvious sign that somebody's doing the camp. But they'll sit in it anyway and kill stuff when it pops. Which, of course, you should be there to kill things when they pop, but if it takes you 30 seconds to kill something, like you might be breaking the camp. People don't know what you're doing. They can't read your mind, so they need to give you the benefit of the doubt and give you a good 5 minutes and send you a tell. That's my rule. I do camp checks. If I come to a camp and everything's dead, I assume you're doing the camp. If I see you, I won't even say anything to you. I'll just move along. If I don't see you, I might send you a tell, but I'm still going to give you the benefit of the doubt and be like, hey, are you doing this camp still? If you say yes, I'm going to be like, okay, cool. Let me know. Let me know when you're out of there. I'm not just going to sit down and then start killing stuff when it pops without sending a tell or doing a camp check. That's ridiculous, and I hate people that do that because you could be invisible. You could be one room over. Maybe you like sitting somewhere different than they like to sit. You don't know. Maybe you want to break the camp a little bit more, so you're gonna let it pop and then stand there for a minute because you want to get the multiple spawns closer together or further apart. People don't know what you're doing, so they need to send a tell. They need to do camp checks, and I don't know why I'm on this right now because nothing like that happened in this video. It just popped into my brain something I hate. Here's a kind of an example. Somebody did call the Lord, but I saw that everything was up. So I'm just looking. I'm not going to go in the room. I already have a camp, so I'm not going to like go in there and steal their camp. But I'm pulling one thing from outside of their camp because I saw that everything was up. Later on, I do talk to the guy, and he actually was having trouble and had to gate or something, and that's why everything was up. He ends up taking over the Archmagus camp later. We talk for a little bit. But I'm not going to go in his camp and like start taking it over, even though he had to gate because he ran into a little bit of a difficulty. Because even in that case, I still wouldn't do it. I would, like the guy called the camp check. I don't know, maybe I would since he's not there. He's like totally gone and everything's up. I might send him a tell though, since he just camp checked it. I did a camp check like 10 minutes ago, and the guy claimed it, so I'd probably send him a tell, I guess. But I don't want it. That's the short sword of Ikesha and the Barbute or something. And that's cool and everything, and those are worth like 500 plat, but it's a really hard camp for that kind of loot, which isn't the greatest, unless you have a ult that is a melee or a tank or something, which a lot of people do, so that's why they do that camp. Because short sword of Yakeshas are pretty sweet twink item. They have a proc, they're pretty fast, they look cool. I don't think the proc goes off to like level 25 or something, but it's still pretty nice to look forward to. Have a nice, cool-looking, fast weapon, one-hander. But yeah, went towards there, kind of sniffing, and just pulled the one outside of the camp, trying to get a little bit of experience. I was making a video, so I'm not just gonna do the 2 spawns in the room over and over and over. I was trying to make it interesting. I was going off doing other things, doing pulls and stuff, so definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna put it in 2 times, y'all, because I'm just sitting here meditating, maybe waiting on it to spawn, actually. My pet's hurt a little bit. I feel like I hear somebody. Yep, there's somebody. Let's see what happens here. Somebody says hey, and I said hello there. Venenux. Venenu. Excuse me, says hey. And then I look at who. I want to see who is this guy. Venenu is a 57 Defiler, a Necromancer, which is pretty cool. I like Necros. Necros are my favorite. Oh, so he was the one in Lord. It wasn't the other guy. Okay. Venenu says, had to camp out, took a beating at Lord. I said, yeah, I went over there and saw everything up. I was a little bit too hesitant to pull the hand because I had died before pulling it, so I was heading towards Lord instead. I knew Frenzy was camped. I knew Safe Hall was kind of... people were in the Safe Hall. There's some people at my door. Hold on a sec, y'all. Alright, let's get back to it, y'all. Yeah, this guy comes, visits, and says he had to bail. He said, med and bail time. He said, non-stop resists on walls. I said, at least you made it. He said, med and bail time. And yeah. And here's my pop. 28 minutes later. Got a cool ghoul. I can't say this. I can't say the names. I might as well just stop. Got a core wizard. What I usually do, same as like the assassin supplier, pretty much. Except for I'll throw a exile undead sometimes on these because they're more difficult. But I set the pet right by where it's gonna spawn. I'll make sure to snare. I'll make sure to Vexing Mordania to counteract my Lich. And then I'll exile undead sometimes on the harder ones. But mostly it's the pet taking stuff down. Me just helping. Pull into my pet. But what... I would time this guy, the first spawn. The actual PH, the one by the bookcase that's going to pop second. I had it like 3 or 4 minutes later, unfortunately. So let's speed it up. I tried to get them closer together. The only way you can do that is let the first one stand and kill the second one as fast as possible. And the reason you would want to do that, you kind of want them like 1 minute apart, maybe a minute and a half instead of like 4 minutes. Because that way you have more downtime if you actually want to make it a dad camp. Giving my pet augment. So he's got like haste and strength and stuff, I think. I always forget what it is. It should be spawning pretty soon. I'll just pause it when it spawns. We're not waiting. Yeah, the PH spawns by the bookcase. It's always a wizard. This one's always a wizard too. The one in the hallway is always a knight. Up there he is. A core ghoul wizard. There's the back of my head. My sexy mullet. He's got some sort of staff. He's getting his butt kicked. My pet has his full health. Bang. Vexing Mordania. Got my Lich on. Got Snare on them. Pet slicing them up, and they are dead. Gained experience again. Now it's green experience, but that's always better than nothing. And I'm level 60, so it's not like experience matters too much, but I would love to fill up my whole bar so I could go mess around more. Right now, if I die like twice, I'm going to be sniffing level 59. And I would love to have a little bit more of a buffer. That way I could die 2 or 3 times instead of 1 or 2. But waiting on the hallway, you can kill this one if you want. I think it makes it easier. If you're going to make it an active camp, you should kill the one in the hallway. It's lower level. I don't think it gives experience. It's usually like a wand. But if you're going to pool to the camp, if you're going to go do like the hand, you should kill this one too. That way you don't have to jump over the hole and deal with all that crap. You can just go through the hallway, set up outside of the hallway, right at the entrance to Archmagus. So I think that's the best place to sit, honestly. You break the camp, you set your timer, and you kill the one in the hallway, and then you kind of sit outside at the entrance to Archmagus instead of in the room. If you're going to do another, like the hand or pool, get some experience, get some other loots. If you're going to make it a dad camp, go ahead and sit in the actual room with the bookcase. Like in the hallway outside of the bookcase room. I leave my pet in the bookcase room, but I sit outside of it. Like right here. Waiting on that wand. Once again, he kind of, a couple minutes before he spawns. So I always kind of just stand here and wait for him. There he is. Don't have to speed it up. It's a Zol. So we'll see. Will it give me experience? Casting Dooming Darkness. Pets on it. Vexing Mordania. Don't have my Lich on right now because I'm just, you know, when you're waiting, if you got a lot of mana and you're just sitting there waiting, you don't want to just lich yourself to death for no reason. So take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on, type of thing. Bang! Dead, but no experience. So yeah, the 2 in the room will give you experience at 60. The 1 in the hallway usually won't. But hey, it dropped something there, some amber. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you all about like in between the last video and this video. I went to Grob. I went to Grob and sold, and I made like 250 plat off of just. I didn't even get really anything too good. I got the enameled black mace or whatever from the Savant. It sold for almost 50 plat. Then I got like a bunch of emeralds, a black pearl, a bunch of fine steel. And I made about 250 plat. I was happy with it. I wish I'd gotten my cape or my sleeves, but then I went to the bank and I looked at my bank. I was like, I wonder if I have a cape in here. I remember having a cape or something in the bank. So I went to my bank, and all I had in there was gator scale sleeves. So I pulled those out of the bank, and I'm going to give them to my enchanter. And I just did that while I was selling and at the bank and stuff. And that's all I really did in between. Went to Grob, sold. But here we go. I'm trying to break the hand. So I see the Dar Knight, and I don't know what's up there at this point. I forget. All I know is I see a frog. I'm going to lull it, and then I'm going to try to poke my head up and see what's up there. And where that frog is where everything is. So you don't want to really pop up on that side. You want to pop up on the opposite side. And I'm kind of just flailing around. There he is. I'm just trying to look. I'm trying to see what I can see while I'm in the water. And that's the only thing I could see was the Dar Gold Knight. So I figure I might as well try to pop my head up as far away as I can. There's the hand. And a Core Ghoul Wizard. So I'm trying to rest the Core Ghoul Wizard, which worked out. And then the hand came, and it all went fine. I've had that pool go terrible before, but look how hard he hit me. 96, 96, 96, 28. And then he tried to hit me with Force Spiral Akabor spell. So you gotta be, I mean, look at my health. I was half health. I hit him with the Vexing. I hit him with some defluxes, because I'm trying to get my health back up. I don't want some sort of charm thing to happen. I don't want to be in a dangerous situation, so I want to have full health against this thing. This might be the first time I've ever fought it solo. It's going okay. It's actually almost dead. My pet's doing fine. He's at 80. I'm fine. I'm full health. So it's going good. Surprisingly good. I got both of my walls off, and then the hand I got face aggro off of, or whatever you call it. Let's see what he drops. Oh, baby. It's the Adamantite Band. That's the best drop off the hand. And we're going to give that to our enchanter. So now we have 2 things for our enchanter. Our enchanter has nothing right now. He has all cloth and a cracked staff. That's it. And a gossamer robe that a subscriber friend gave me. So all he really has is the gossamer robe. An 8 AC robe that I don't think has anything else on it. Which is nice. I love it. I'm not like trying to downplay it. I love it. It's awesome looking. It's good for my level. But now we got our first item, other than the gator scale sleeves that I pulled out of the bank. We got our Adamantite Band. First thing we've actually grabbed from a video, a camper. We're trying to do this, and it happened. I wasn't specifically going for that item. I was going for the SMR, but to get something WoW is all good. So it's our first twink item for our enchanter that we captured on video getting. And that's what I'm doing here. When I did the Assassin Supplier Camp, I was trying to do that, and it didn't happen. We didn't get anything for our enchanter. But here, finally, Archmagus Hand Camp, we get the Adamantite Band. 75 HP. Right now, my enchanter has something like 200 HP, I think. So that's going to almost like... It's going to up his HP by 50%, which is quite a bit. Enemies hit me for max, what, 20 or something? 19? That's going to add a good 4 hits onto my life bar, which is really nice for the level I am. I'm only level 11 enchanter. A 75 HP ring is going to be nice. Alright, so I lulled again. I'm trying to figure out, like, how am I going to pull these frogs? Can't really... Like, I could have... You know, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sure there's a billion things I could have done. But at this point, I'm trying to Dooming Darkness from the water. It's not working. The hand came because he saw me, and he chased me down. I didn't cast on it. And luckily, I had already lulled both the frogs when that happened. That's probably what, the time I died here trying to pull this, it's probably because I didn't lull. And all 3 came, and that's just a recipe for disaster. So I would not recommend the hand unless you can lull. If you're an enchanter, if you're a bard, if you're a necro. Maybe even like a druid or something. I don't know what they can do down here, but if you can't lull or something, if you can't pull, if you can't single pull, you don't want all 3. You don't need 2 wizards. And here we had a just a random roamer. So as I was saying earlier, these random roamers, which there's only 1 or 2. Unless you head towards the Lord. If you head towards the Lord, there's a couple more. But if you're just right here, there's like 1 or 2. And this is one of them, I guess, because he just jumped on us for no good reason. This is not the one that's up in the hand. It's a different one. And this guy can add on to, if you're pulling to Archmagus, and it falls in the hole, if you don't pull the right way through the false wall or to right here, if you jump the hole and the frog falls in the hole, if you say you're pulling the hand room and it goes a little bit wrong and you get a couple of them, and you run back to Archmagus, you jump the hole, you got a buddy back there or something. Well, those 2 are going to come, and they're going to fall in the hole, and then they're going to find their way out of the hole, and they're going to grab this guy too, and then they're going to be 3 of them instead of 2. When you're already in trouble because you got 2 when you only wanted 1. But here I skipped around, I think, a little bit. I paused and came back. We got a Dar, another Dar. Just same old, you know. Just Snare, Vexing, Lich, Exile, Pet, Augment, Pet. Keep my shield up. Wasn't too hard. There was, though, now. Definitely stay tuned. We pull the hand a couple more times, and we sniffed the Lord a little bit, and we did have one pull go a little bit wrong, where I got into a little bit of trouble, where I may or may not die, so definitely stay tuned. It's not super easy, even though I make it look easy. I know. I make it look easy, but I'm just kidding. And you'll see I got a couple shout-outs also. People sending me messages. That happens way more on my Necro because, I mean, my channel's called Sinnycool. My name's Sinnycool. This is my first character. It's my level 60 Necro. It's the character I'm most known for, so I get way more tells when I'm on this character. And I try to respond to every single person, but just know, if you send me a message while I'm on my Necro, for some reason my chat window will not break out into other chat windows. I right-click it, it doesn't work, okay? It works on my Shaman, it works on my Enchanter, it doesn't work on my Necro. I need to change my UI or whatever. But in saying that, I'm saying my text window gets awful busy. And if you send me a message when I'm in the middle of a fight, I might not see it. It doesn't mean I'm being an a-hole or some uppity-up YouTuber guy. I just didn't see it, probably. Just send me another one. You'll never bother me. If I don't at least say thank you very much for watching, then I didn't see your tell, most likely. Because I'll at least say that to everybody. So yeah, don't ever think like I'm ignoring anybody. I might be AFK. I'm AFK a lot. I do a lot of dad camps. I might be making a video. Or the most likely is my text window sucks. I can't break it out into like tells and it won't let me. I know how to do it. I know how to do it on my Shaman. I know how to do it on my Enchanter. But it just doesn't work. I'll right click on main chat. It won't do it. It doesn't bring up the option. But just trying to pull in between. It's a 28-minute spawn. I'm making a video, so I'm trying to make it as active and exciting as possible. We're heading towards the Lord. We're heading towards the hand. We're pulling the hand. We're doing Archmagus and hand. Here's a Dar. He's got a weapon. I can see him, so I rest him. He can't see me, but I can see him. So now I can go around the other side, and I can actually snare it. Because now I can get closer. That's the point of doing the rest of the dead. Even though there's only one enemy, and most time when you're lulling, you're going to do it when there's multiple enemies, right? Well, it's even good to do with just a single pull. That way you can get closer, get a better angle on them, and then you can snare pull. I'd rather snare pull than face pull, because if I face pull, they're going to hit me, then my pet's going to come running. So I like to rest the dead, get a little bit closer, where normally they would aggro, but they're rested, they're lulled, so they don't. And then I can snare, because I can see their feet, and then I can turn around and run before they hit me. That way I can make it back to my pet, treat my pet like he's a group member, instead of getting hit, and then my pet comes running, and then we're playing WoW. We're going from mob to mob like some people do in this game. I need to make a video on that one day, because I hate that. I hate when people play this game like WoW. They, like, totally disregard casters with mana. And that's when it usually happens. You'll have a bard and a ranger and a rogue and a warrior, like, in a group, and they'll play the game like WoW. They'll all four run around together killing stuff, going from kill to kill. And they don't have a designated area to sit. Which, that's how you play EverQuest. Like, you have a camp. You pull to the camp. You know? That's how you play EverQuest. You don't go run around from kill to kill. And I hate when people do that. And it happens mostly at lower levels, I know. But, and it's not as bad at lower levels, because most of the time, you don't even need mana. You're just running around killing stuff, because you got multiple people, and it's not that hard. But, yeah, I hate when people, like, take that into their 20s, 30s, 40s, where they're running around from kill to kill. Like, we've done Yeti caves before where that's what they were doing. I'm like, man, I'm a shaman. My mana is never good, so I need somewhere to freaking sit or candy dance. I can't be running with you from kill to kill, because I'll never get mana back, and I'll never be able to heal. I'll never be able to buff you if I don't have mana. So I need a spot to sit, and you guys pull to me. That's how you play the game. And if you made it to level 40 without knowing that, I don't know how you did it. That's not how this game works. We don't have potions we can just chug. Our mana doesn't go up while we're standing and running around. We got to sit to get mana back. So just know that. If you're watching this video, maybe you'll change your ways when you hear me say that. But sniffing the Lord again. The one guy camped out. Nobody's here now. So I was actually kind of sniffing it a little. Pulling the Dar again. Seeing how, just wanted to get a better look. I was kind of like debating whether I should see if I could pull something from that room. But I do know. Now, you might not know this. You probably do. But I know there's more than meets the eye in there. Why does it say you look down? Why aren't you wearing any pants? That's funny. I never noticed that. But, I think there's actually frogs up. If you look in the Lord room, you'll see the one on the throne, and you'll see, like, one on each side. And then the one outside the room. You're like, that's not so bad. I can pull the one on the outside. And then there's just 3 in there. If I can lull, I could probably break this room. What you don't realize is there's frogs up top. There's like an upper layer, like a balcony in that room, the Lord room. There's a balcony area, and there's like 1 or 2 frogs up on the balcony. So what will happen is you'll pull the outside one, you'll be like, hey, I could do this. And then you'll like lull the one on the throne, you'll lull the 2 in there, you'll pull one because you're like, hey, I got this. This ain't so hard. You'll pull one, and then the 2 up in the balcony will come too, and they'll murder you. Because you'll have like 2 wizards and something else on you all of a sudden. I'm pretty sure. I haven't done that camp. I've just read about it and seen other people do it. And I'm pretty sure there's at least 1 frog up in the balcony that will take you by surprise. Or there's like a false wall. There's something in there. I'm pretty sure. I think it's a balcony area up top. But somebody's yelling about the Shin gauntlets. I can't remember what those are for. I think it's some sort of armor set that you can quest. I gained experience off that one. On my that was my pet killing one by himself. I think it was a roamer, and I think I was paused at the time, and then he was all of a sudden fighting something, so I unpaused. I think we're about to pop again. This camp will definitely test your patience, because there's only two in the room, and the Archmagus does not like to spawn. And then when he does spawn, he likes to drop the shitty silver silk leggings or whatever the hell he drops. That is not the SMR. So this will really test your patience. And now, if you're going to wear the robe, it's one thing, but if you're doing it for like an alt or for a quest or something, it can get frustrating. Because if you're going to wear it, you're going to immediately pop it on and kind of feels better, man. But, I don't know. It's frustrating, this camp. Especially if you're not adding other things to it. If you're adding the hand, if you're sniffing the Lord, if you... whatever. It's a little bit better because, this guy's not wrong. The wiki is confusing. This guy's, like, looking for directions in OOC. And I don't even know how to... The only thing I can do is, like, come get you and bring you to only the camps I know about. Which I do later in this video. I bring somebody to this camp that they did not know where it was. I'm pretty good. Like, I can make it to Assassin Supplier. I'm not going to name them all, because it's basically the last video. I could just say all those. I know where all those are, right? If you look at my last video. So, on top of that, I know where Sage is, Executioner is. I know where Archmagus is. I know where the Hand is. I know where the Lord is. I know where the Frenzy is, kinda. I've never done that camp, but I know I could definitely find it. And I know that the Sentinel is nearby the Frenzy, and I could find it if I needed to. Other than those, though, I don't really know where anything else is. There's like a live side where there's like Minotaur Elder and other Minotaur type of names. All right, here's our pop. 28-minute spawn timer. This one's never the Archmagus. You're just happy that it's popping. You're happy that it gives you experience. You just want to get them down. Oh, I forgot they stun you, too. Like, if you're standing too close. It's like an AoE stun type of thing. But gained experience. And we're just waiting on the actual pH. So I'm going to speed it up. Because it takes 2, 3, 4 minutes for it to pop. Sometimes I forget to pause while I'm recording the footage. Alright, let's see this Archmagus. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That's what you're saying while you're sitting there. Come on, baby. Give me the Archmagus and give me that robe. Yeah, there's other stuff in this. The live side. There's like the King. He drops like, what does the King drop? Mithril two-hand sword, I think. And the Frogluck King Crown. Which the sword is pretty good. It's really good if you have like a SK or a Paladin or something, I think. Alright, it's probably coming pretty soon, so... we'll just pause. We'll pause when he pops. And then I'll put the speed at the right thing. Sorry about this bar, but you're going to have to deal with it. It's not that big of a deal, right? Alright, so what popped? You can't really see. What is it? Is it the Archmagus? We're about to find out. It is not. It's a Jin Ghoul Wizard. Unfortunate. I gotta wait another 28 minutes to see another pop. But I make the most of it. I go and I try to pull the hand. I go and I look at the Lord room. I do that kind of stuff. I should have went to the you know the safe hall? Like where the slaves are? As soon as you're like coming towards this area, You're coming out of the safe hall, you're coming towards this area. If you go to the right, that's towards Frenzy and Sentinel. If you go to the left, I've never been that way, and I want to explore it at some point. I think that's towards the live side. And like the King and the Minotaur Elder and the other Minotaur Patriarch or whatever it's called. I want to head that way one time. I might do that next. But that's the dilemma, because I want to, I want to do this camp until I get the SMR. I want to do the Ritualist until I get the, now I want, the Cape. But to show that over and over and over, I gotta make it interesting. The old dilemma of EverQuest. You do the same camps over and over, but you can't. It's a hard thing. I've said it a million times on video. I know I don't know what to do about it. You play the game. This is how you play the game. You do the same camps over and over because you're looking for a certain item, or it's a good camp that you're used to and you're getting experience. But it's hard as a content creator because you can't just record the same camp over and over and over and do the same thing, same video every time over and over and over because nobody will watch it. But that's how you play, and that's what you do when you're playing. So it's like, unless you have time to play this game every day, and you got 6 days to not record, or you got 5 days to play and 2 days to record, I can't do that. I don't get enough views. I don't have enough support on this game, so I can't. If I had Gems of War level of views and support for this game, I would play it every day. Guarantee it. I just gave the P99 EQ community a chance at a third video, and it didn't happen. Gems of War got the Duke on that one. I give you guys chances, so just stay tuned. We're already doing 2 videos a week instead of 1. I'm trying. We got the Dar again. We got this stupid water. This camp is just, this hand. The water kind of throws a monkey wrench in it. And then you got the small little platform they're standing on together. It's not an easy pool. I definitely figure it out, but if you've never pulled it before, it's not easy. So I'm going to just put my tippy toe on this corner, right? That way I can cast. Now I'm super close. And somehow they don't see me. The other side's actually better, I find out. Put your tippy toe on the other side. Not the side I did, which it worked out. But I would definitely recommend doing the left side, not the right. So the left side, there's more room in between the Dar and you. While the right side, the Dar's closer to the right side. I just got lucky there. I could have had 2, but I got the 1. It's fine. I like how he sticks his tongue out. You got like a yellow tongue whenever he... Right there. That's awesome. And they're undead. Their little chest area with this showing their intestines. So awesome. That's how you can tell the difference between undead frog and a live frog. They got the chest, the exposed intestines. They're rotting. We got a nice little fine steel great staff. We got our kill. I'm really breaking that camp. I mean, I'm just doing what I can do, honestly, but I was trying to break it real good to where I just have single pools going forward. So we got the hand down. 28 minutes till that comes back. Now we killed a Dar, probably like 14 minutes in, and now there's just one up there. I think the thing was, though, like my room... I can't remember. I can't remember if I pulled this last one or not. I'm in the water. Oh, the hand popped. That's what happened. I knew something happened to where I couldn't pull the wizard. Resting the wizard. Alright, I got the wizard rested. And now I just need that hand to see me. Without being, like, behind the wizard or something. So here he comes. I wait till he comes to the edge of the water, right? And then he gets... And then he sees me, so that's good. I'll definitely kick your butt, so you gotta be careful. Well, here we go. I like the underside of the hand, too. He's got the little mouth. I don't really get super close to it. Well, it's... I wish I did, because that'd be a good thumbnail. I guarantee the hand is going to be on the thumbnail. I just hope I got a good close-up of it. Probably didn't. I wasn't trying to get close. I was scared he's gonna, like... I don't know if he can or can't. Can't remember, but... For some reason, I was thinking he could charm. And I just wasn't... I didn't want that to happen, so I was staying far away and making sure I killed him safely. There we go. Got him down. Another adamantite band? Nope. A serpentine bracer. Those are kind of poopy, but... My gnome enchanter can use it, so I'm going to give it to him anyway. Better than nothing. 3 dex, 9 agility, 1 AC. My enchanter currently has cloth. So that'll be an upgrade, so I'll just give it to him. So that's our second item for our enchanter that we actually camped. We killed something and it dropped and we got it, and we're going to give it to him. We specifically hunted an item and got it. Kinda. And then I got the gator scale sleeves in the bank. So I'm going to give my enchanter the sleeves, the bracer, and the ring. Which is going to be nice. The adamantite band is a finger piece, right? It's not like a wrist, is it? I didn't look closely. I'm about to look, though. That's good. So the serpentine bracer is a wrist item. The adamantite band is fingers. That's great. And you can get 2 of them. They're not lore. I would love to get another one. That'd be 150 extra HP on my enchanter. I would even take another serpentine bracer. I think there's better bracers, maybe. What's the one that the scryer? Can't remember if the one the scryer drops is only wisdom, though. I'll have to look that up. But these are the 3 items I was talking about. I got the gator scale sleeves, 6 AC, 4 intelligence, 15 HP. I got the adamantite band, 75 HP, 10 or minus 10 save magic. Is that minus or plus? Then I got the serpentine bracer. So my enchanter, which I'm gonna be recording on this tomorrow, Sunday. This might come out Sunday, but I'll be recording Sunday, and I'm gonna give all this stuff to my enchanter for that video. So the next time you see my enchanter, it will have at least those 3 things, and maybe more. You gotta stay tuned. Alright, looking for some more pools. I think I had a decent amount of time on the clock left. Here's a Darghoul, little roamer guy. Uh-oh, I saw that. There was something else there. A Zol. A Zol. A Zol Ghoul Knight. Necros are awesome in lower GUK, just by the way. If you're a high-level Necro, you should try it. It's fun. And I got 2. This is where stuff goes haywire. Somehow I got a wizard. It must have been in one of those little nooks or crannies. I'm rooted. So I got a ghoul, I got the wizard beating on me. So if he hits me with a spell, I'm screwed. So right here was very dangerous. I tell my pet, back off, come help me. I'm rooted. Alright, my root is gone now. I'm getting blasted. Luckily, I resisted that, because that could have been bad. I think I rooted them. I rooted the wizard. So I was rooted, and he tries to blast me a couple times. That could have been trouble. Luckily, I resist again. My pet is losing some health. I'm losing some health. We got 2 of them on us. This is one of the scariest situations of the whole video. My root wore off on something. I think I rooted both of them. And now I'm just kind of like trying to get my bearings, like trying to get my pet to actually come to me and kill this stupid wizard. So I think I have the knight rooted. And I was trying to get my pet over by me so he could fight the wizard without getting hit by the knight. But it never worked out like that, so I just burned down the wizard at some point. And we're good now. My pet's kind of low, but it's just a knight. The wizard's dead. Now the knight's dead. So, that was probably the hairiest situation, at least up to this point. Pulling the hand was kind of scary, but it didn't. It turned out fine. And then I end up getting a black pearl. Those are worth 18 plat. More than I thought. I sold one after the last video. It was 18 plat. It was super nice. So those drop down here too. That's why I recommend like killing other stuff and not just skipping by everything. Because these normal frogs will give you experience. They'll drop black pearls, fine steel, emeralds, peridots, all kinds of good stuff. Flawless aquamarines, jewels. Jewels and fine steel. Alright, so now I'm going to try to finish off this room. We got the one Korgul wizard. If I rest him, I can put my tippy toe on the platform and snare him. And I probably won't have to deal with multiples up here again. Got him. There we go. Yeah, the one thing about that is they like teleport from the top to the bottom instead of swimming slowly. So they're gonna hit you, your pet's gonna come. You just gotta keep that in mind. I didn't know that until it happened a few times. When you pull from up there to down here, they're gonna pretty much teleport and hit you, no matter how fast you swim. And your pet's gonna run to you. So just know that. Because your pet could run from Archmagus to hand, and there could be something in between, which could cause trouble. Especially if you do... That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not an easy pull. The worst thing that could happen is you get all three. The hand, the wizard, the knight. Your pet's back in Archmagus. You get hit by one of them. Your pet comes a-running. Old Sniff come running. Like right here, look, perfect example. This roamer that he's all of a sudden fighting when I didn't even know. That thing could have added on while my pet was running from Archmagus to hand while I was getting hit off a bad pool. And now you got 4 of them on you and you're screwed. You got to feign death. Your pet's going to die. And you got to hope you don't get hit with a spell while you're feigning death. Because you know how that happens. You think you got your feigned death, but then you get blasted with a spell or something. And yeah, it doesn't work. Or you get rooted. It's not easy down here. I mean, I'm making it look easy, but I have died on video in lower GUK, and I've just done it a few times now, and I've kind of finally learned. I burned my hand on the stove, and I kind of got lucky a little bit, you know. My pet running from one side to the other could have been bad. Me pulling the hand could have went bad. Me pulling things over that hole when we were first starting the camp could have been bad. I got a little bit lucky, and I've done this quite a few times, so between the two things, I had an okay time. Got the adamantite band, got the serpentine bracer, I got the sleeves. I'm pretty happy. I'm just hoping for at least to see the freaking AM, the Archmagus. But we're really hurt right now, so I'm going to speed this up. We got to sit here and recuperate. Time to recuperate. Let me check on everything once again. Because last time it was a little bit zoomed in. I don't know why. I don't think it is this time. Alright, we got our pop. Let me, I'm sure you guys are so excited to see this fight again, but let's put it back. Same old crap. Except for we're a little bit injured. It could go haywire. Could go bad. We're not at full strength now. We just had a fight in the hand room, and then something jumped us on the way back, and then we were trying to recuperate, and this thing popped. I was kind of like, you know, I was clearing the hand camp, right? I had enough time to do that. But then something jumped us in the hallway, and I wasn't anticipating that. We only had a couple minutes left until our pop in AM. And something jumped us in the hallway. And now we're all of a sudden, that stuff can happen. All of a sudden we're down a little bit on HP, and we're trying to recuperate, and then our timer's up, and it's time to go. You just gotta go. I could have, I guess, backed up into the hallway and, like, sat for a minute, because I know I wanted to make them closer to each other anyway. But it is what it is. Let's go with the 2 times again, because there is definitely a couple minutes in between the 2 spawns. There I am with my cursor trying to emote that's where he's popping. I'm hoping for him. Let's go. Freaking pop. And the Archmagus is hard, too. He can hit you with some really nasty spells. I think he actually does the spell that knocks you backwards and stuff, and he's got some mean nukes. He can kill your pet. You gotta be careful. You might have to jump in there and take a couple hits. You might have to, chain nuke him with Exile Undead, you know? Don't underestimate the Archmagus. He's pretty tough. Pretty tough. If you see him pop, you better go all out on him. So it might be better to leave a couple minutes in between. That way you have full mana when he pops. But nope. Once again, a Korgul Wizard, so... Of course not. I was not getting lucky. What is that, our third? Killed the first one, and then we've had at least 2 more. So I did 3 or 4 PHs. Didn't see him at all so far. Will we get one? It's a nice little consolation prize that they at least give you experience, I feel. I don't think I saw my bar move at all, but it's moving. Giving me that little tiny nipple hair of experience. So maybe I can die twice without losing my level. Have you ever been 60 and died? It takes away like 2 whole bubbles almost. I don't know. At least a bubble and a half. It's crazy. If you have a full 60 bar, you could probably die 4 times, I would say, before you D-level. So we got this completely cleared. There's a little wand on the ground that's for some sort of quest. I didn't even pay it any attention, but I read about it on the wiki. I've never seen anybody like sit up here and just specifically camp that. Most of the time you're doing Archmagus if you're doing the hand. Maybe Lord if you're doing the actual Lord. If you have a group, if you have a Lord group for the short sword of Yakesha and all that. If you're in the Lord room with a group, then maybe you'll pull the hand. But that's about it. I'd say if you're camping Archmagus or the Lord, that's when you kill the hand. You don't specifically almost never go and camp the hand and sit up there. If the whole freaking place was full and there was nothing else to kill, like maybe, but you're not gonna choose it. If you're going to lower GUK and you have a choice, you're not gonna choose the hand as your camp and sit up there and kill those 3 and that's it. I've never seen that in my life. I've seen the Lord people pull it, and I've seen Archmagus pull it. And Lord Room could even pull Archmagus too. Like if they're a really, really good Lord group, they're probably pulling Archmagus, Lord, and the hand. And who knows what else? Maybe they go even further, but that's usually about the most you can do. It'd be really fun. I would love to do that one day. That would be almost as exciting and profitable as the Supplier Cavalier Sage. If you could do Lord, Archmagus, hand, I think the Assassin Supplier one would actually be a little bit better. The Lord has like cooler stuff, but it's not worth as much. The Yakeshas, I swear, they used to be worth more, like 750 to 1,000. The SMR used to be worth like 2 to 3K. Everything's cut in half these days. Even though it's not easy to get. I guess because of Valius and Kunark, there's other robes out there, so SMR isn't... It used to be like SMR was like a top 3 or top 5 robe. Nowadays, like, it's probably a top 10 or top 7 or something. Too much Valius and Kunark robes out there. The Talama Jump-a-Dump, the Jump-a-Lot robe, and the Frogluck Bonecaster robe, and robes from the plains. And alright, here we go again. Resting the dead. Why? When it's just a single pull? So I can get super close and snare. It's a wizard. I don't want to get hit by that thing. I'm going to snare, then I'm going to strafe run the heck to my pet. Let's get the hell over there to my pet. Let's let the Spectre take the blasts. Let him resist them. This wizard's getting a little ornery. He's coming after me. But he didn't. He stopped. He blasted my pet. I don't know if he hit him or not. Don't think so. I hit them with the Vexing Mordania. It's a dot. It's hurting him. It's giving me life too. Pet is slicing his head off with this scythe. And it tries to run, but it's snared. And we gain experience. And I only have half mana, but I have full health. Somebody's Seraphon. That's the dude. He said, "Hey, Sinnycool." I said, "That's me." He said, "You recording, bro?" I said, "A little." He says, "Love your videos." I said, "Almost done." Because I was almost done recording. Here we are in the hand room. There's the hand once again. Kind of jump cut there. Somebody's calling out the Executioner and the Sage. That's pretty good. Sage is a good camp, at least. I would do Sage and Cavalier, though, if I was them. I don't know why they're doing Executioner. Executioner's kind of poop, unless you have, like, a baby warrior. Give them the Executioner's Axe or something. It would even be easier to do Sage and Cavalier than Sage and Executioner. I think there's more mobs. Maybe they're just doing it for experience. He says almost done with the camp or the recording. I think he wanted the Archmagus camp, but I pretty much gave it. I did give it to him. Yeah, that's what happened. I forgot. He needs it for his some sort of quest. I think he tells me. It might be in the video. But hey, shout out to Seraphon, by the way. First person to say something in this video about my videos and my channel, so shout out to Seraphon. Seraphon is a mage. I think like a... Is he a 60 mage? Somewhere, he's definitely high level. He's between like 57 and 60, and he's a mage. I think 60. He says, "Sure. But by the way, any SMR, I'll buy if you are selling." He says, I said, "No, haven't even seen him, just both drops off the hand." I said, "Do you want me to tell you when I'm done with the camp?" He said, "Ah, okay." I said, "Gonna give the SMR to my baby enchanter anyway." Just letting them know I wouldn't sell it if I got it. The whole point is me recording right now is to try to record myself getting the SMR and then giving it to my enchanter. I could, if I wanted an SMR, I could go. Faceless One said he would give me our other SMR, but I want to get one for myself. I don't like taking gear off of other characters and giving. I don't like sharing, even though it's perfectly fine. I think most people do that. You'll take gear from one character and give it to another. But I don't know. I always feel like I'm gonna play that character, and I don't want to switch gear back and forth. And I just want all my characters to have gear. Then I feel like better, and like I don't have just one set of gear that I'm sharing. You know, like the whole family's wearing the same shoes, sharing the shoes, sharing their underwear. I get to wear the underwear today, Paul. I get to wear the Crocs. It's my turn to wear the Crocs, Paul. Nah, I'd rather have, like, everybody has their own Crocs, their own underwear. He was trying to get one for his rogue epic. That's what it is. I think it's also for somebody else, too, like the mage or enchanter. Somebody else. It's like rogue and enchanter epic, the SMR. I'm pretty sure it's for multiple. I got the freaking Serpentine Bracer again, y'all. But hey, now I got matching bracelets for my enchanter. I was hoping for another adamant-type band. And once again, the thing that goes through my head is I want to do this camp again, but I can't record it because, I don't know. Maybe if I jump around between a bunch of different camps, and maybe if I charm instead of using my pet, like I'm going to try to figure out something because I want to do these camps again. I just got to figure out a way to make it interesting. Just looking back through my chat to make sure they didn't say anything. As I was saying earlier, my stupid text box is terrible. He says, going to try to make it to AM camp and log there. And then I offer to show him the camp because I was kind of, when he asked about the camp, I was feeling like I was going to do the camp. It was, at this point, I think it was around 12 midnight. I can't remember. Seraphon will come on here and say, nah, it was 10 or not, it was 11. But pretty sure it was like, at this point when we were talking, it was probably like 11:30, maybe even 12 midnight. And I was like, I was over ambitious about how many times I was going to keep doing the camp. The later it gets in the night, the less likely I am to kill the next PH, you know? And at like 11:30, I was feeling I'm going to do like 4 more times, you know, which would have been like 2 more hours. And then once I did the next one, I'm like, ugh, am I really going to do like 3 more? It's midnight. Am I going to stay up until 2 in the morning? So eventually I was like, I'll just kill 1 more and you can have the camp. So instead of doing like 4 more, I did like 2 more. And I was like, hey, you can have it. I'm done. Sometimes you're like all of a sudden done, you know? But somebody else said something there. Let me shout them out properly. Forget their name. Bleens? Shout out to Bleens. Appreciate you watching. You're in the video now. You get a shout out in the video. And we'll put it on 2 times since I just went backwards. And we're just waiting for something to pop. Eventually I end up sitting on the bed, laying on the bed, reading the books. You know? You'll start out sitting in the hallway, and eventually you'll get so bored you'll be sleeping on the bed and reading the books and stuff in this room. That's what I'm doing now. Waiting for that thing to pop, just kind of laying on the bed reading a book. Core Ghoul Wizard runs over and hits me for 107 points of damage. Definitely be careful. You saw how hard that hand was hitting me? Triple for 96. You see that 107 off that wizard? And then they could also blast you for like 400, 500. Probably, I don't know, I'm just saying numbers. But something that takes a huge chunk of your HP. You know? If you get hit, actually, and don't resist it. It's crazy, so just be careful if you do this camp. I hope you learned something watching this video. Maybe you didn't know about the other foss wall and how to go through the foss hallway and pull through there and set up camp at the entrance. Maybe you didn't know about the 2 wizards in the room and how to break this camp or whatever. Maybe you didn't know how to pull the hand from the other side and about the hole and not jumping over the hole and all the roamers and all that business. Or maybe you never seen the Lord room and all that and how to pull from there and all that. I don't know. Hoping somebody had learned something or was entertained by this video. The Magus Reanimated Hand Camp. I thought it was fun. Here's our last pop. It's a Core Ghoul Wizard. We did not see the Archmagus, unfortunately, but that's the way it's going to go. I swear the Archmagus is super elusive. We camped it all day one time. Literally. I'm not even kidding. Me and Faceless One sat there for like, I don't know. If he's watching right now, do you remember how long it was? It was like 10 hours, right? I always say it was like 12 or 13 hours, but it was something crazy. Like, at least 8 to 10 hours we sat there. I'm probably exaggerating, but it was a long time. And there's a video out there of it. We camped it all day one day. All day. And we eventually got one, but it might take you some time. It could. You know how it goes, though. It's RNG, so it might take some time. You might get it right away. You might never see the freaking dude. Or it might take 8 hours. But he's like, still looking. He don't know how to get here. I was pretty much like, hey, you can have the camp. I'm done. I changed my mind. I'm done now. You can go ahead and have it. And I told him, like, what time. I was about to just go. I'm like, oh, there's 23 minutes on the timer. I wasn't sure, like, does he know how to get here or not? Is he just... But then I had, like, I was like, well, why not just show him how to get here? I'll be nice. hopefully, yeah, karma. So I'm asking where he is. We'll show him how to get here. Let's put it on 2 times, though, because it's just me showing somebody how to get to a camp. There's a Darghoul Knight in the Foss hallway. Doing our thing. Our little recipe of disaster. The snare, the vexing, the exile, the pet, the buff. He said he's at Assassin Supplier, pretty much. If you didn't see that. I think he's, like, on the stairs heading down from Assassin Supplier is what he said. We gained experience off of that one, so yeah, maybe. Sometimes you will get experience from all 3. But 9 times out of 10, that was like a wand. Would not give me experience. Alright, so I invis versus undead. Alright, I head to the left. Jump over that. Go straight pretty much after this. You see the slaves. This is the safe hallway right there. Safe hallway, safe hallway, safe hallway. Back here, the only way to go, really. And we're passing, that's the Cavalier right there. Cavalier, Cavalier, Cavalier. Alright, back, back, back. Right here's the stairs, heading up towards, there's Savant, Savant, Savant. Back, back, back through, and there he is. So let's, we'll slow it down for the end of the video. There is Seraphon. I think the level 60 mage. So I have to, you have to get into a group so I can invis versus undead to him. He said, should we fight down or are we going to IVU? I said IVU. I'm ready to go. I'm not trying to fight my way down. So, unfortunately, he had to lose his pet. But I'm going to show him to the camp. So I IVU him. Because everything down here is undead. You're not going to find anything that's not in this area, at least. IVU myself. We're right at the bottom of the stair. Yeah, we're right at the bottom of the stairs if you come down from Assassin Supplier. Go through this room. Here's Savant room right here. Savant, 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 right there. Down the stairs, down the stairs. To the right is Executioner and Sage. To the left is Cavalier. I went the wrong way. Maybe my camera was bugging out. Nope. All right, here's the safe room. Safe hallway, safe hallway, safe room, safe room. I thought this dude was heading towards my camp. So I was trying to rush a little bit, but my camera kept screwing up. All right, safe hall, safe hall, safe hall. Slaves right here, the slaves, the slaves. And we're heading to the AM. You basically just do right wall strats after the slaves. And you'll get there. Right about here is the Archmagus. And then there's the wall. I show him the wall. False wall. Bang. And the other false wall. Bang. Showing people that way kind of makes it a little bit more confusing. Like they're, oh, I bet I'm going to have to remember where this wall is. There's 2 false walls. There's a false hallway. I'm showing them where the spawn is by being a annoying person, by jumping. Like, this is where he spawns. So I basically just explained the camp to him, and that's the end of the video. But shout out to Seraphon. Shout out to Bleens. I swear there's like one more person at the end. But yeah, I just basically talk about the camp, tell them about the camp. I tell them how to do the camp, like where stuff spawns, like what you can do and not do, and I want to make sure there wasn't like one more shout out I was supposed to do. Guess not. Anyway, that's it for this one. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below. Maybe next time we'll go to the live side. Maybe next time we'll be charming. Maybe next time we'll do the Lord or the Frenzy or something, or the Sage or something, or Cavalier. I don't know. We'll do something. I keep doing this lower GUK. I might continue doing that. I need to get stuff down here for my enchanter, and there's lots of stuff. Maybe we'll do upper GUK. It's going to be something similar, but different. I won't be doing Archmagus next time. I probably won't be doing Assassin Supplier, but it'll be something. So, I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Say umbrella if you made it this far. Umbrella is the secret word. If you say umbrella, then I know you're a real one and you listened the whole way through. And that's surprising, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.